Hey guys, welcome back. This is the Dialed In Podcast, the low equity edition. Today we are joined by Tracey and Mike. Mike and Tracey and I have all worked together in various capacities in the past, and now we're going to make some low equity calls together today. Tracey, I'm going to throw it to you first really quickly. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you located and what are you looking to do?
Thank you, Mike. My name is Tracey Duncan. I live in Georgia. I have been a real estate investor for the past year and a half. I am trying to focus on co-living properties where we offer accommodation to people who are looking for affordable ways to settle. That are not able to afford a regular mortgage. And so we try to assist people in this way.
I love that. Your Georgian accent is coming out, by the way. Right. I love it. Where are you from originally?
Jamaica.
That's what I thought. So good to see you. Thanks so much for joining.
Thank you for having us.
Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself. How can people work with you?
Okay. My name is Mike Stitz. I'm in Central Florida, and what I'm currently looking for, very similar to Tracey, is I'm actually looking to get involved with co-living pad splits. What I can do to help most people and what people can do to help me is I am looking for wholesalers. I do reach out to agents as well. I'm looking for wholesalers that can help bring properties to me that would be useful for converting into a pad split. I'm also looking for private money lenders and partners who would be interested in partnering with me in these pad split type properties.
Mike, where are you looking for properties right now?
I'm currently looking in Georgia, North Carolina, and a little bit in Jacksonville, Florida. And yeah.
Very cool. So wholesalers, agents, whoever has deals in those areas, reach out to Mike. At the end, actually what we'll do in the description as well is I'll include your guys' contact info, and if you guys want me to, so that people can reach out to you with deals, if that's okay.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Tracey, before we hop into some phone calls here, you had a question. Actually, I had a question for you, which it was more, I wanted to do this, not you. So I apologize for putting you on the spot here. When you talk to agents or anybody about what it is that you do, let's just go high level. Let's not go too deep right now. You mentioned co-living. So tell us a little bit more about what your desire is to do moving forward within the co-living space.
Well, actually, the same pad split model was introduced to me. So actually, that's what I got introduced to. And then I realized that it really was a marketing tool, which I find to be very useful. However, I realized that it's really a part of the co-living concept, which I think is great. I have contacted people like the VAs that within the Cobb County area of Georgia. They have been very excited to hear from me in terms of what I have to deliver. So I've been focusing on that. And then, of course, I don't know if you know, I partner with my sister, who she's trying to focus on sex traffickers, victims of sex trafficking, and so we're partnering, and that's our target market, so to speak.
Yeah, I love that you bring that up, Mike. I'm kind of curious because you also said pad split, right? So when you're talking about co-living and pad split, is your goal to just have pad split put anybody in there that they find to be a good tenant, or are you focusing on a specific niche of demographic?
Mine's more generic, just pretty much with any tenant. However, I will say that my wife she's a part of a couple groups on Facebook, and there are a number of people, at least in Florida, who I'll say need someplace to live, and they can't find a house to live in that they can afford. So it is a necessity.
Yeah, I agree. And that's why I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into this, Tracey and Mike, is because I think that, and I think a lot of people think this, but I think that co-living moving forward is going to be the affordable housing option, right?
Right.
Or one of the affordable housing options. And as we're making our phone calls and as we're building relationships with agents and Mike wholesalers, as you mentioned, what we want to do, I think, is really focus on how we add value to a community, right? Not just buying a house sub 2, right? We can all have that conversation. We want to buy a house sub 2, but what do we do after that, right? What is the value add? What's our unique value proposition? And I gave you guys the example before we started recording here about the Golden Girls model. I have a friend who lives here in Austin, and he owns about 140 single family units in Austin. And what he's done is he's bought them, renovated them, refinanced them. He does the BRRRR method. And then he typically focuses on women who are leaving battered relationships, or battered women who are leaving relationships is a better way to say it. Mm-hmm. And so he joins up with charities here in Austin, and the charity themselves basically put these women and families, children into these homes. And so it's a really cool way of combining what it is that we want to do, the real estate side of it, right? And then also giving back in a way that benefits the community, society, and obviously ourselves. We're not doing this for free, right? Right. But that's a great way to do it when you combine a passion, right? Maybe a demographic that you want to help, sex trafficking, for example, or battered women, or whatever, people who are just homeless in Florida, Mike, right? Yep. So I think what we want to do today is try to weave that into our conversations. Add value to the agent. Don't just be the person who is calling up, hey, can I buy your house sub 2? Can I take over payments? Okay. A really good way to lead into it is saying, look, what I do is I focus on housing women who are victims of sex trafficking. Oh, okay. And I'm looking for homes to purchase where we can put 4 to 6 women in there and give them a safe opportunity that they haven't had in the recent past, or whatever it is, however you want to phrase that. Mm-hmm. But I will tell you that the conversation that you have like that with an agent is going to be very, very different than it is if you say, hey, can I buy your house sub 2? Right. Right. In fact, Tracey, do you want me to make the first phone call and I will pitch that?
I would appreciate that.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Right, Mike?
Yep.
What would you like to go first?
I got this. I love when there's 2 people on here, because typically when there's 2 people, I don't have to make phone calls.
Oh, but, really?
Yeah, usually. But I will today for you, Tracey, just because you asked nicely.
Thank you.
Of course. Okay, I want to call this deal here that I saw yesterday. This one I'm calling right now. By the way, I'm probably not going to have the first person pick up. We'll see. But this one's from about 5 or 6 days ago. So the conversation might be a little bit different, but we'll see how it goes.
Hello, it's Trang.
Hey, Trang, this is Mike Jackson. How you doing?
Hi.
I am calling about a listing of yours. I'm going to butcher the name, and I apologize. Verelman Street?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I live over here in Bee Cave, and what I do is I buy homes in Austin, and typically what I do is I'll buy them, I'll fix them up a little bit, and then I'll house women who are victims of sex trafficking. It's kind of my passion. And so I wanted to give you a call about this listing to see, just learn a little bit more about the property itself, and also see if there's a good opportunity for me to come in and potentially buy it. What's the activity been like on it? I know that you guys have been on the market for about a week or so.
You mean the condition?
No, not the condition. I'm curious if you guys have had lots of showings, if you guys have had any offers.
We have a couple offers, but the owner turned them down.
Got it.
They all of them are to investor, to low ball. And besides that, I have nothing else.
So the offers that you guys have rejected, you said the seller the seller rejected them because they were too low priced?
Too low, yeah.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
And you guys are currently listed at $335, right?
$335. Yeah.
And yes. It looks like you guys have been on the market before. It looks like you guys just did a really big price cut.
We Yeah, put it up for lease, I believe, for lease.
Oh, for lease. Okay.
Yeah, for lease. Yeah, and then I think the owner decided to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
got it.
Yeah.
Has that garage been converted, or is that still an intact garage?
No, still attached.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Okay, buddy.
All right. And then otherwise, I'm looking at the pictures. It looks like it's in great condition. Is there anything else that I should know about the condition itself?
Okay, the condition for the picture. Okay. Those picture was like professional taking by Airbnb people. And that was they're all at the time it has all the furniture, but the condition is good. Okay, but the carpet's not good.
The what's not good?
No, carpets.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing that is I think needs a replacement.
Got it. Okay. So
yeah, good condition.
So it was used as an Airbnb before?
Yes.
Was it a successful Airbnb?
I'm not sure. I think at that time, it wasn't my job.
Okay.
So,
and I assume it's currently vacant, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, I definitely don't want to be like the other investors and give you an offer. It's probably cash. I'm assuming they gave you a cash offer in the 200s, right?
No, to 65, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, to 65.
Got it. Okay. Well, one thing that I notice here too is that there's not a whole lot of equity in this house, right?
No, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. I assume since you guys have been on the market for a little while, have you guys been contacted or approached by an investor who's looking to take over the payments on the existing financing?
Yes.
And what was the seller's feedback on that?
No, they don't want to do that. Yeah.
Got it. What was their concern?
The seller, want to, just, let it go. So they didn't want to do any. But we got people who do ask for like seller financing, and then even subject to. I don't know if you familiar with the subject to. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but seller don't want to do any of that. Yeah.
Okay. And just to kind of dive a little bit deeper, when the seller said no, what was their concern with that type of a sale?
She want to, don't want to have to worry anything else, like she want to let it go, basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, because who knows, another 2 or 3 years, down the road, and she don't want to be blocked again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. So my partner and I here in Austin, we own about 140 total units, and what we typically will do, like I said, is house women from relationships that have gone not a kind way, to put it nicely, or we'll find another charity to house families who need housing. And a lot of the sellers that we're buying from, we will purchase this way, where we simply take over the financing that's in place. And we bought a house in 78745 recently, where the same situation was true, in the sense that if we were to come in and bring financing, our finance would probably be at like 8% instead of 4%, which is where Verrilman Street is on a fixed basis. So that we're kind of looking for opportunities like that. Do you have anything else that might make sense for us to take a look at?
I will submit, our offer. Okay.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I will submit our offer. So whatever, you
Okay.
you have. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to submit an offer and see if it makes sense. In fact, like I said, I'm just in town, so I can come meet you at the property. I can come see it. If you ever want me to, I'm happy to talk with you guys, including the sellers. So just to explain to you how it all works, or could work for you guys.
Yeah. Why don't you send me, something in writing, and then I will shoot it to, sellers to see what what I get back from her. And then if she kind of think about it, and maybe and we can meet up.
Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, cool. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. I'll send you over an offer this afternoon. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Thank you, Trang.
That's fine.
Bye-bye. Okay, talk to me. Give me feedback. You guys are both muted. Give me some feedback on that phone call. Tell me what I did well. Tell me, more importantly, what I did poorly so I can improve.
I think that was just a tough call, first of all, because he wasn't giving you a whole lot of feedback.
And I couldn't understand him either.
Right.
That was a struggle a little bit.
Yeah. Let's see, what could you do better?
I found myself, Mike, just to maybe give you a little bit of a lead in, I found myself with him trying to control the conversation because he wasn't giving me a ton back. Right. So it's like that discomfort when you're in a social situation, you're talking to somebody one-on-one and things go silent, right? It's like that awkward silence. What do you do with that awkward silence? You try to fill it. Right. And
I'm pretty sure, I know I heard you. You mentioned some third-party stories, and I mean that's the only way that I could say that's the only way to fix that problem is to put in a third-party story. But you did, but it wasn't really reflective to that, responding to that either. So
it's like many of my jokes, Tracy. My wife says that a lot of my jokes don't land because maybe they're too dry, or I like to consider my jokes too high level. That's what I think that they are, but I don't think that's the case. But Mike, you're right. My third party story, first of all, was trash. It was not, whoa, Tracy, geez, that was pretty quickly. You said my third party story was trash. I won't take offense, by the way. The third party story was poor. So what else could I have done differently, Tracy?
Well, I don't know about done differently, but I actually felt like he responded to you better. Like you say, he seemed a little difficult to get through to. But when you mentioned the co-living situation that you're trying to work with, he seemed to have drawn closer to you at that time. Did you get that feeling?
I did too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by if you can add value with what it is that you do as opposed to just another person calling, and especially if you make it super unique. You guys, the two of you guys, for example, should not have the same unique value proposition. Gotcha. It has to be unique so that they remember you, Tracy, and you, Mike, separately.
Right.
So I think that the response, if you lead with value like that, is a whole lot better than if you're, for example, I was trying to get the offers from him. What kind of offers do you get? I couldn't hear.
Right.
I don't know if they were cash lowball. That's why I said, hey, are they in the high 200s?
He said 265.
Is that what he said?
Right?
Yeah.
I heard a 5 at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think that whatever information I was trying to get out, I struggled for a lot of reasons. But I think a lot of it was just I couldn't hear very well. And also I'm cold. That was my first phone call of the day.
Yeah.
And I think it does take a little bit of time to lead into it. So, Tracy, just for the sake of my enjoyment, and hopefully Mike's too, the two Mikes, we will enjoy this moment for a second. Pitch us your unique value proposition. Let's do a little practice. You're not as cold as I was going into your phone.
Okay, because I am very cold. All right. Ring, ring.
Hello. Actually, Mike, why don't you be the agent, just for fun?
Okay.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, may I speak with Mike, please?
This is him.
Hi, Mike. My name is Tracy. I'm calling regarding your listing on 123 Main Street. Is that still available?
It is.
Oh, okay, very good. I'm calling to see, I am working with a group of investors, and we are looking for properties that we can use in situations where people are looking for affordable housing. So we are trying to find properties where we can have various groups of people who are, I'm sorry, I'm not doing well.
Stop for 1 sec. Let's stop for 1 sec.
Yes.
Okay. So a couple things. I didn't want to interrupt you at the very beginning. Always assume that the person who picks up the phone is the person who you need to talk to.
Okay, so don't say, may I speak with Mike?
Exactly. Let's say that you're looking for a Mike and a woman answers, though. Then you can say, hey, is Mike there? You know, did I call the wrong number or whatever?
Okay.
But if I'm calling you, for example, and a woman picks up, hey, Tracey, this is Mike. How you doing?
Okay.
And then what I like to do at that point sometimes is do some sort of like a pattern interrupt. So if I hear a dog in the background or something like that, Tracey, I'll say, hey, Tracey, this is Mike. How you doing? Oh, I'm fine. Hey, it sounds like you might be at a dog store or something. Like, did I catch you at a good time? Oh, yeah, now's a great time to talk. Okay, cool. So I was just calling you about your property at 123 Main Street. And then this is what I do. Now, so that intro is super important because if you nail the intro, and it's super simple, right? It's, hey, this is Trace, or hey, Tracey, this is Mike. How you doing? If you nail that part, the rest of it is smooth sailing, which sounds crazy because it's so simple. But if you nail the intro, the rest of it's super simple.
Okay.
So after that, what I would do is I would say something like, I saw your property at 123 Main Street. It caught my eye. What I do is I buy homes, and so sorry to backtrack for 10 seconds, but what my focus is this year and has been for the past couple of years is I want to house 1,000 people per year who don't have housing currently. And so I'm buying homes to help people who are homeless or victims of sex trafficking. And I'm looking to buy properties in this specific zip code. What can you tell me about this house in this neighborhood? You know, that
you flow so easily. Oh my gosh.
But I'm not on a phone call, right? This is a role play. Role plays are so much simpler than phone calls. So
yeah.
I would stumble and I'd bumble and I'd make myself look like an idiot. But if you strengthen that unique value proposition and you say, my goal in 2025 is to house 1,000 people who are homeless or victims of sex trafficking. Do you think that Mike, if he's the agent, is going to remember Tracey? Yes.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yep.
Okay.
So try again. Let's do a quick 1 minute kind of intro and then go into your value proposition, and then we'll start making phone calls.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, Mike. This is Tracey. I am calling about your property on 123 Main Street. Is that still available?
Sure is.
Okay, great. Well, I work with a group of investors, and our goal is to house people in homeless situations, people who are victims of sex trafficking. We're trying to present affordable housing for people. So I was looking at your property and wondering if that would be a great fit for my model.
Well, I'll tell you what, I really do appreciate what you're trying to do. We can look into to see if this one would work, but I do have other ones that would definitely, I think, be beneficial for your goal.
That's great to hear.
I can appreciate what you're trying to do.
So
that's great to hear.
You see where that went, Tracey, right? Mike was like, yeah, now I'm into the conversation.
Right.
He does not want to get off the phone. He doesn't think that you're the average investor who's going to knock $70,000 off the asking price. Right. So I think that's really important.
Does he though? I'm trying to think though, if I come to him saying that I want affordable housing, does he think that I'm going to try and knock him down?
What I would do is not say affordable housing personally.
Okay.
What I would say is my goal is to house people who are homeless or to house people who are victims of sex trafficking. That's what me and my partners do. I wouldn't even use the word investor, by the way.
Okay.
I would say my partners and I are looking to purchase a home where we can house people who are homeless or victims of sex trafficking. And what I would say is, what can you tell me about this neighborhood and this property? And just let it go.
Okay. So since Mike responded saying that he also has other properties, should I then let go of this property to discuss the other properties? Or should I didn't know what to do after that. Thank God you interrupted me.
Excuse me, and that's okay, right? Mike's response is Mike's response. We'll see what agents really say. And the cool thing about having not necessarily a script, Mike and Tracey, but like having a formula for how your calls go at the beginning, you're going to know what comes next most of the time.
Okay.
Right. So if you start the call, hey, Tracey, this is Mike. I'm calling you about 123 Main Street. How you doing? I'm fine, Tracey. Okay, cool. That's when you go into the value proposition, because what's going to happen is that agent's going to be like, why are you calling? That sort of thing. That's when you change the script a little bit. I should not have used that phrase. That's when you put in your unique value proposition so that they see value in the phone call as opposed to just another investor calling.
Okay.
So, hey, Tracey, what my partners and I do is we purchase homes and we help people who are currently homeless find housing. We also deal with a lot of people who are victims of sex trafficking. And so we're looking for opportunities in this specific area. What kind of information would be valuable for me to know about this listing in particular?
All right.
Mike, how did that sound? Was that sound okay?
Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, the one thing that I would mention is when you talk about not following a script, because at that point we're just trying to memorize sentences.
Yep.
What I've tried to do myself is just have like bullet points. Like, these are the topics that I want to talk about. This person's going to listen because they answered the phone.
Correct.
And as long as these topics interest them, or we're related to this property they're talking about, we can talk a little bit longer about it.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Yep. So let's do something a little bit bold here, Tracey and Mike. Let's get on the phone calls. Let's play this out a little bit. Every single phone call, by the way, is a learning opportunity for everyone here.
So you won't record these you will just record this so that we can learn from it, right? This won't go on your site.
This is going up there, Tracey. This is going up there.
Can't you tell that I'm not ready for this?
Tracey, I can always edit it out. Don't worry about it. It's okay. But what I will tell you is that you're going to be proud of the phone calls you make today. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So both of you mute your the app while you're making phone calls so we don't hear the ring on our side. And then what I want you guys to do is when you do get on the phone, unmute so we can listen. And then after the phone call, we'll provide you with feedback. Cool? Cool. Tracey, you got this. By the way, I forgot to mention that we are sponsored by RocketBotLeads.ai. They provide really, really high quality day one data specifically for low equity listings. So if you do want to use them, our affiliate link is down below and you can get a 20% off discount for the first month.
Hi, Layla. My name is Tracey. I am calling about your property on 830 Windrush Loop. Is that still available?
That's not my property.
Oh, that's not your property?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, but Layla?
Yes.
Do you have other properties that you have available for sale?
Yes, they are on MLS.
They're on MLS. Oh, okay. Well, I am.
A realtor?
Yeah. No. What I am. Well, I'm a with a group of buyers, and we are looking for properties that we would like to use to house homeless people or victims of sex trafficking. Do you have anything that would be able to look at in that ballpark?
Is it a specific area? What it is?
Well, you know what? We work all over. We have representatives all over the United States. So that, I mean, you're in what? I'm in Georgia right now, just to let you know. And I have partners in Texas, in California. So we're pretty open. We're trying to deal with this issue nationwide.
Yeah, email me your information or text me, and I will look into it and I'll send you my listings.
Okay.
If anything that is interesting to you, present me an offer.
Okay, great. Let me just confirm the email that I have on file for you. Is it LAILAPUNJANI at Gmail? Okay, great. Mm-hmm. I will use that. I will send you what we are actually looking for, and then you let me know what you have available.
Yeah, send me the details, even if you're trying to buy. A lot of people are just calling and saying that they want seller financing for so many years. Most of my properties are not those types, so I just wanted to give you a heads up on that.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. Thank you for taking my call. Right. Look out for my email, okay?
Yes.
I know.
Great job. Really good job. What I would have said there is, looks like my information is wrong. I apologize for bothering you. Do you happen to know who the listing agent is? That's okay though.
Because her name would have been there since she.
But you handled that really well. I was
kind of thrown when she said it's not hers. So I started to check, and I'm like, did I call the wrong person? But it's the right person. So I don't know.
That was a good call, though. You transitioned correctly, right? Hey, do you have anything else we can take a look at?
Okay.
It was great. Good job. Keep going.
Keep going? It's Mike's turn.
What I should have said, Tracey, you started from the top, I assume, right? Top of the list?
Yes, I did.
Mike, if you want to start from the bottom, it might be smart. Tracey, while Mike is dialing, what do you think you could have done differently there? You're muted, by the way.
I know I could. I wasn't flowing properly. I know that.
That's okay.
I'm not sure if it's because I was thrown that it's not her listing. But I'm glad you told me that I will apologize, that I must have had something wrong. And, yeah. Anything else?
I was looking at Mike to see if he's on a call. What I would have, I think that call threw you off initially, right? I'm not the listing agent. Oh, shoot. What do I do now? Right.
Right.
And that's totally normal. It's sort of like you're dodging softballs, right? It's like,
yes.
And so, he was leaving a message. I think you handled it great. I think that the way that you transitioned into what you're looking to accomplish, I think that the more you have that conversation, the better it's going to get.
Okay.
And so if you refine that, in fact, what I would do after this recording here is kind of write it down. You know, you do like a free form writing as if you're speaking it, not writing it.
Yes.
Make it kind of informal.
Will do.
And so rehearse that.
Yeah.
Hey,
okay.
My partners and I are looking to buy this sort of thing. I would focus, by the way, on the area that the agent is in. So what state was that?
She was in Virginia.
Okay, cool. So I would say, we're looking for properties specifically in Virginia to house victims of sex trafficking. Typically what we're looking for is, a 1,500 square foot plus home, 3+ bedrooms. Do you have anything like that available by chance that I can take a look at?
Okay.
Yeah, the more specific, the better.
That's the email that I will send her, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. I would also, he's on a call, I think.
House has not been on the market for too long, but I was wondering if you could tell me what the situation is.
She wants to sell. The owner wants to sell.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. It is it's a very nice.
There is not a reason that the house is too big for her and her son, so she wants to finance. She's already living in another place.
Okay, she's living someplace else, and she just wants to consolidate, get a little bit smaller house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I understand. Well, let me tell you about what I'm trying to do is last year I was purchasing houses as just for normal rentals, but recently my wife has been joined a few Facebook groups, and she's found a lot of people that are struggling to find housing. And what we've decided to do this year was trying to find housing for people that are, I would say, struggling to find a house or perhaps get an apartment. And so what we're trying to do is a co-living / pad split. And we came across your property, and we did see that this house was, like you said, a relatively large house. And we could probably find some people that we would be able to find some place to live in there. And we just want to find out if this would be a good house and a good market for that.
Yeah, I don't think so. The owner, she wants to put in her pocket about $50,000, but she have on equity. So
I'm sorry, you had mentioned her equity. Did you say she doesn't have a whole lot? She doesn't have a lot.
Like 15, she doesn't have a lot, but she has some that she would like to have, like to keep in her pocket. And yeah. No,
that's completely understandable. Let me talk. I mentioned last year I was buying properties just for rentals, not the co-living thing. But let me tell you, I had a seller. I had purchased his house, and he had lived in a house in Baltimore, and he had got transferred from his job to Dallas, and he hadn't had a whole lot of equity in that house. And so what we were able to do, we were able to get him moved into a new house in Dallas and get him his equity that he did have and put some money in his pocket. And the way we were able to do that is by using a thing called a mirror wrap. And basically what we did is we were able to take over his mortgage and continue to make those payments for him and get a renter in there that would cover 125% of the mortgage monthly payment. We covered their closing costs as well as the commission to the agent that he had. And he was able to move on to get his next house and actually get, lending for his next house. Is that something that you think might be applicable or might be able to help your client here?
I didn't receive many of these offers, but can you send me like a offer to my email so I can share that with the seller? She's already living in a place. She already rented an apartment.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be more than happy to get you some information about what we're trying to do and help your client out. Do you have any questions?
What she's afraid is that the house because I know that if they stop the payment, she can get back the house. So her concern is that it's gonna get a destroyed house.
Yes, I can completely understand. So let me answer that in a couple. 2 quick answers is we would get insurance on our own that would cover any damage. That would not be, I don't see that being an issue. We wouldn't want to hire any clients that would damage our property as well, because we're going to be paying to keep this property going. As for the mortgage payments, what we do is we get a third party that would cover those payments. In addition, we try to make sure that we have a first and second month's rent on the property. So if let's say that we did fail to make a payment, like, money coming in, because we have a third party and that money's already stacked in a bank account, those payments would go automatically to the lender that you currently have that would cover that mortgage payment. In addition, what we do is we set up a deed of trust. And so it's a security instrument that would put your client in second position, just like a bank. It just mirrors exactly what the current mortgage is. And what would happen is if we failed to make a payment, say on the 15th of the month, within 30 days, if we didn't follow up and make that payment, the keys and the title would go automatically back into your client's name, so she wouldn't have to sue us. She wouldn't have to worry about foreclosing on us or anything like that.
What is the money that she will receive, like what is that down payment?
Oh, the equity. Oh, we would definitely pay that up front. That would be something. I mean, I haven't looked at the numbers exactly myself, but if she has equity, what we'd want to do is make sure that she gets paid equity, during closing of our agreement.
Okay, can you send me the numbers and everything like that about the insurance and everything so I can show that to her?
I will definitely send that to you. I can send an offer that would look a general understanding is what we're looking to do. Now, to do a real hard copy offer, in order to do that, we'd want to look to see what her current mortgage statement looks like. But I can definitely get some information to you so you can discuss it with your client if that's what you'd like to do.
Okay, I can ask her because I know that because of the property taxes, the payment went up, but she said that she will pay whatever she has to pay to put it back on the payment that she was. It was
$3,100. And when are the taxes due?
When the taxes? No, the taxes, the property taxes are due now.
Oh, they're due now. Okay, yeah. We can go pretty quickly, but I don't think we'd be able to get that quick to get to where we could get the taxes taken care of for her. But we can move pretty quick if that's something she wants to do.
Mm-hmm. And also it has solar panels and they are not paid off.
Okay, I'm sorry, did you say that they are or they are not paid off?
They are not.
Okay, does she have a mortgage on those?
A what?
A mortgage or some financing on those as well?
Yes.
Okay, do you know how much she pays per month on that?
She pays $297.
$297. Okay, yeah. When it comes to actually doing the numbers for the real offer, we definitely want to look to see it both their current mortgage statement as well as the financing for the solar panels.
Okay.
All right. Well, Demir, it's been very wonderful speaking with you. What I will do is I'll send you my contact information when we get off the phone, as well as I'll come up with an offer, just a general idea of what we're looking to do.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. It's been wonderful speaking with you.
Okay. Thank you.
What'd you think?
Well, I got a good ending. I'm sure there's a lot of things that I could have improved on. I myself, I don't like to use a lot of filler words. Mm-hmm. When I don't know what to say, I find that I use a lot of filler words.
Which filler words are you referring to? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't beat yourself up on that. That just comes with repetition. If the more calls you make, the more likely you are to know what to say next. And there aren't going to be those filler words. That just takes time. Okay. What else? Anything else that you can think of off the top of your head?
Let's see. No.
Tracey, let's get
Tracy. There's a lot.
No, there's not a lot. Tracey, what'd you think?
Well, being the newbie that I am, I was very impressed. I think you came with a lot of detail that I probably would not have come with. I was wondering though, I mean, you went as far as saying that you would, of course, take care of the equity. And this is a question for you too, Mike. Is this is this the time where we would also say as well, how do we deal with the agent's commission, her commission that we're speaking with? Is this the time when we would address that? Do we pay the agents?
Yeah, Mike did say that. He said that he was going to take care of commissions and closing costs.
Oh, he said commissions and closing costs. Okay, I didn't hear that part.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So we would take care of that part. Cool.
Yeah. Mike, initially she said that the sellers are going to walk away. We're wanting to walk away with, was it $50,000?
Yeah, I believe she said 50.
What does that far right column in the spreadsheet say?
50. Oh.
Yeah, it says 53,578.
Okay, cool. So it's right on. You called that's a higher equity, low equity lead, if you will, right?
Yeah, it's like a hybrid. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, in that situation, what you're probably going to want to do is just follow up, see what happens to the price. That might be a situation 3 months from now when it doesn't sell for the price that they were hoping for, and she keeps having to lower the price. And that's when you can step in. Maybe it's 20 grand equity, for example, closing at that point. And that's when you can step in and offer something that's more of a straight sub 2, as opposed to a seller finance and sub 2, which is hybrid,
Okay.
right? I want to get some clarification on that. Let's see here. She really led you down the path the way that I would have wanted to lead the conversation. She really helped you out a lot there. Not that you wouldn't have come up with this yourself by any means, but she kept coming up with things like, yeah, we're getting seller finance offers. The seller's already moved out and already renting a new house, right? I just made some notes here. Seller's worried about what happens if someone doesn't make a payment and she gets the property back and it's in bad shape. You handled that one really well, right? And clearly on the phone calls, your style, I think, and that's what's cool about doing these, by the way, because our styles, we have 3 different styles here. That's what's kind of cool about this. And there's no one right way to do it. But your style, I think, is let me explain to you as much as I possibly can, and then push forward with let's get the mortgage statement so we can get you a formal offer, right? Let's get you something that's more concrete than it is abstract.
Normally I wouldn't ask for that up front. But because she was asking me to provide her with some information, I said, okay, I will give her that. And maybe she'll give me this. So,
yeah, I think that's a great way to do it. And a lot of people handle it that way too, right? They won't give a formal offer until they see a mortgage statement. Maybe they need to see insurance. They need to see HOA docs. And there's value in that, right? It's basically like you're getting something, you're making the seller and the agent work for your offer. Which in theory, the idea is that they're more tied in with you because they've done that work for you already, right? That's one way of doing it. My way is a little bit different. And again, there's no right way to do this by any means at all, but I like to go the path of least resistance. How can I give this agent and the seller as much information as I possibly can without asking them to go to too much work at this point? Especially with these leads that are brand new on market, what I'm going to want to do is just give them another option. And then what I do is I back away. And I'll say something like, if I were in the seller's shoes at this point in the listing being brand new on market, I probably wouldn't even consider something like this at this point. But knowing what we know about the difference between the mortgage balance and what you're currently asking for, and ultimately your net at closing, this could be an option for you 20 days, 30 days, 45 days down the line. What I do is I do my best to maximize your equity by paying the agent's commissions myself, not directly from the seller. And I'm also paying all of the closing costs to protect your equity so that you don't have to continue to lower the price every 30 days. So that's my way of just backing off. And what I want to do at that point is follow up with that whole mind frame intact, meaning that I want to communicate that I am just here. I am here. I'm not trying to hard sell. I want to provide you with guidance. In fact, what I do as well is I'll say something like, you're probably going to get a lot of phone calls from people who are looking to buy the same way that I am proposing today. Even if you don't go with me, what I want to do is be a resource for you. Feel free to ask me any questions. You can send me an email or a text or even have a phone call or even a Zoom call. And let's go through the advantages and disadvantages to this type of sale, specifically with the offer that you guys have on the table, regardless of whether I'm your buyer or not, because I want to do my best to protect the integrity of the subject to transaction. And then that way, it's full pressure off. Right? It's like, hey, I can just be a resource for you. I could buy it, but I can also just be a resource for you. And at the end of the day, I think what happens more often than not is that agent is going to reach out to you with competing offers, and then you guys can have conversations about that. This is why this offer is good. This is why this offer is bad. This doesn't include this or that or whatever. So I think that your style is perfect for your personality, especially. You're a pretty technical person, aren't you?
For 17 years, that was my job, was technical, yeah.
Which is really strange, because not strange, that's not the right word, which is really unique, because you play guitar.
I do, yeah.
Yeah. And being a guitarist, you need to have some level of like creativity too, right? It's really hard to just be technical all the time. Would you agree, or how would you expand on that? I
would agree that, and it's funny you mention that, because yes, there are certain aspects. It depends on, I guess, a musician that you want to follow. There are some that are very technical and other that are not technical at all, don't even have musical knowledge. But yes, my goal has always been to be more technical, to be a better musician. But yeah, for years, I've just been kind of, I'll say, just jamming.
Cool. I love that. So would you feel like your guitar playing is more of a creative outlet, or do you go in there technically learning notes and way other people play?
I would say it's been more of a creative thing. When it comes to the technical thing, yes, there are certain people that are just too good just to be creative and trying to figure out, okay, how did they do this? How did they come up with this? And, what could I do to imitate that? Mm-hmm.
Where do you think that you struggled on that phone call with the agent?
Where did I struggle with that agent?
Did you feel like you struggled on the phone call with that agent?
Oh, every phone call, there's a struggle. Trust me.
100%. I agree.
And with that one, it was definitely right from the get-go when she told me that she's already moved out. She wants her cash. She wants to sell the house. And that was, I'm pretty sure that was after I told her my situation. The part that got me the most was when I told her what I was trying to do with the co-living and the pad split. She said, yeah, this would not be a good fit for that. I'm like, okay. I wanted her to expand and tell me why. But like you said, she gave me the out by telling me that the agent or her client's already moved out and she wants to sell the house. And I was like, okay, well, I have a solution. I mean, may not work, but it is a solution.
Yeah, what I was going to say in that phone call specifically is there were I wouldn't say a lot, I would say a small handful of areas in the phone call when you could have pushed a little more. And, for example, I always love the question, once I present the idea of sub-to or something creative, I love the question of, have you ever done a transaction like that before? And that opens up a whole nother line of questions, a whole nother dialogue. Typically they haven't, right? They may have heard of something like seller finance. I think agents who have come across low equity listings have definitely heard the term sub-to, right? But that's a rare type of agent. So I love the question of, have you ever done a transaction like that before? Because it's a no, that gives you an opportunity to explain to them how there can be value for their seller. And, I'll even use the line, even if this information doesn't apply to this listing here, it might apply to a listing down the line. And typically there's value in listings that are fill in the blank. What I typically do is focus on low equity listings. So my line would be, if you ever come across a situation where there's much less equity in a home than the seller wants. In fact, a lot of the times we're buying homes where the sellers are having to pay at close. The advantage of the way that we purchase is instead of them having to pay at close, because we pay commissions, because we pay closing costs, there's no cost whatsoever for the sellers. Instead of them having to pay, we can actually give them cash at close. And so what you're basically doing is you're communicating the value that could apply to the house that we're talking about today, but you're kind of taking it off the table. You're removing the pressure, right? And then sometimes, I would say more often than not, the agent's going to come back and say, well, tell me a little bit more about what type of offer you could make on this property right here. And there's some factors that change that, right? How long the property's been on the market for, what the offers have been like since they've been on the market. Are they lower? Are they this type of an offer? And then, of course, the seller's motivation, right? What are they looking to accomplish? In this scenario, given the fact that she has already moved out, she's already qualified for a rental somewhere else, right? You could even ask the question, is this seller planning to purchase in the near future?
Right.
Now, it doesn't really change a whole lot for you, but it just gives you more information. And you could also tailor that third-party story as well to that. You know, we just bought a house in Dallas. I love that, by the way. That I assume that was a Dallas property, right?
Was it?
Yeah. Well, the one that I just called on.
Yeah.
The one I just, Kelly, Texas.
Yeah.
Kelly, Texas. Yeah.
So, you know, that's a great third-party story. We just bought a house in Dallas where a seller did exactly the same thing. They were using it as a rental. It was empty. They wanted to sell it. They were renting the house down the street, and they eventually wanted to go buy a house. And so what we were able to do is show them how they could do that with us simply taking over the payments on the house that we're looking to purchase today. And then there's that, it's like ding, ding, ding. Let me explain to the agent what we're looking to accomplish. And the agent is like, okay, this actually sounds interesting. It's that light bulb that kind of goes off. So I think that call was really, really good. I know we've gone long-winded on that phone call. But I think that there's a lot to take from that phone call, a lot of good that you can build off of. And I think that you could incorporate a couple other little things in there as well to make it stronger, which we've talked about.
Thank you, Mike.
Tracey, I want to mention something to you really quickly, and we'll kind of leave it at this for today. Both of you guys made a phone call. I guess I did as well. So in the vein of being unique and standing out, I think that you have a really unique quality to you. And I'm curious, Mike, if you're picking up on this too. What do you think Tracey could lean into that would make her stand out in phone calls to anybody?
Well, she definitely has the accent.
That's it.
Which makes people, it's like, okay, this is interesting. And you speak well. I mean, you have an accent, but you speak well. And, Mike's pretty much already like, as long as you know what you want to say. So I guess think of it as a movie story or whatever, and just, do like the early version of like, this is what the movie's going to be about, and just tell people like, this is what I do. And I think people will be very interested to hear it.
Okay.
100% agree. That's exactly my point. The first thing when we first met on a Zoom, I think it was on a Zoom we first met.
Yeah.
That's obviously the first thing that struck me, right? Your accent. I think it's a beautiful accent. And I think, what did I call you? I called you something. I think I called you like the Jamaican.
I don't remember, but I remember you bringing attention to my accent. Yes.
Yeah. And, don't be afraid of it. We all have something that's unique to us, right? My name is Michael Jackson. Okay. I don't love it, but it's something that is going to be remembered when I call up and I say, hey, it's Michael Jackson, right? How many people call up and say it's Michael Jackson? Very few. So that's one thing that I lean on. And I think that you can do it in a very similar way with your accent. In fact, what I would do is make a little joke about it.
Okay.
Hey, this is the Jamaican co-living queen, or whatever,
Really?
whatever it is.
So?
And I think that there's no way in any world that I am familiar with where someone is not going to remember you calling. And that also relieves a lot of pressure on the phone call too.
Okay.
You don't have to be perfect. People are going to remember you for your accent. So I would lean into that as much as possible.
Okay. All right. I'll see. Thank you.
Okay. Hey guys, today was a little bit different just because we made fewer phone calls. I hope that you guys got value out of it.
Tons.
Okay, good.
This was great.
And I really appreciate this.
Anytime. And I want you guys both to come back. Okay, let's make some more phone calls together. We will all do them together and let's all learn and grow together. Is that cool?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome, guys.
Should we continue to make calls on the list?
The list is all yours. Do whatever you want with it.
Continue then. Okay.
Practice. What are you going to practice, Tracey? What's your takeaway?
Well, I am going to practice to use my accent. I'm kidding. I'm gonna do, and then I'm going to practice how I deliver. I feel like I'm not flowing. So I'm definitely going to practice that even before I make another call.
What are you going to do that? Let's put some action steps into place. What are you going to do?
Write out my script.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, because believe it or not, I have some scripts right here that I was planning to follow, but then I like the way that you did it. And so I thought because you stared me down presenting as co-living rather than just a regular.
It makes you different. Do it differently.
And I like that. So I think that was excellent. Thank you. And I will prepare a better presentation and practice it. And then I'll try it on some more leads. And hopefully I will be better next time.
Well, we're all going to be better even tomorrow, right? Because we're going to improve today. I was just thinking, when you do your presentation of what you do, you could even drop something in that is a nod to your accent too, right? You could say something like, my partners and I are looking to purchase co-living spaces in XYZ state. Part of the demographic we're looking to serve, and we're looking to serve about 1,000 in 2025, is victims of sex trafficking. And that's actually a really bad example to make a joke of after, but let's flip it a little bit. Instead of sex trafficking, let's say that what you want to do is you want to house 1,000 people who are struggling to find housing. And you can make a joke.
Could I mention co-living? Are the agents comfortable with that terminology when they're trying to sell someone's house?
I wouldn't personally.
Right.
I think anything that you can remove that is technical terminology, I would remove.
Right.
And make it super, super simple.
Right.
So I'm looking to house all of these people.
Right.
I'm looking at your listing right here. In fact, some people call me the Jamaican whatever, co-living queen or whatever that is. And that way you can kind of brand yourself on the phone with people and they're going to remember who you are. It's also a way for you to throw it out there that look, you might clearly you've noticed something different about my voice, right? Like, let's point out the obvious.
Okay.
I think it's really helpful.
Okay. Whoops.
Okay. So you got your takeaways. Mike, what's your takeaway from today?
Hold on.
When it comes to adding the value, I need to show them how I can add the value, even using my third-party stories. So basically, I need to listen to listen to those key things that they're mentioning, what their client's going through, and try and follow up on that with, third-party story and trying to show them how I can add value to help them get to that point that they need to get to.
I love that. Well, cool, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you guys attending as always. Please come back. Next time we're going to be even better than we are today, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you, guys.